Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. I hope you take the 6 or 8 minutes to watch this video. We're going to go over how packaging can fool you, how you can spend more money than you need to, and we're looking at garden soil. Whenever you see something that says garden soil, it usually means it's for in-ground use, and we'll go over that as we go across. And there's basically 3 categories if I had to break them down. You have garden soil for earth beds and raised beds. You have the next category, which is potting mix and container mix, which is for containers. And then you have the other category, which is just like topsoil and fill soil for lawns and holes and stuff like that. But today we're talking about garden soil, all made by the same company. And I want to just break these products down for you and not really bust myths, but inform you about what you're getting so you know how you're spending your money. First of all, you have garden soil for vegetable and herbs, same company. Garden soil for flowers, and then you have garden soil all-purpose for flowers or tomatoes. First step that's confusing. We're going to flip these bags over, we'll look at the fertilizer, we'll look at the ingredients, but you don't need specialized garden soil for vegetables, herbs, and flowers. Just get basic garden soil, number 1. Number 2, this is 1.5 cubic feet, 1.5 cubic feet, 1.5 cubic feet, so it's a good measure. And then the organic over there is 1.3 cubic feet. These were $8.97, $8.97, $7.97, $9.97. So right there, you already have a difference of up to $2. So when you're, buying 1 or 2 bags, maybe it's not a big deal. If you need 20 bags, you can save yourself a lot of money. Buy the plants to go into your garden or buy the seeds. So we're going to start here. Most of these products, any bag product, is basically made of the same stuff. Peat moss with some cocoa coir, and forestry product. Forestry product is shredded wood. The mix for this company is pretty good as for the consistency of the product. But this is where they get you. This is made with compost. There's not enough compost in here to matter. You can never find a percentage. If it was like 50% compost, that would be great. But they can throw in a handful and call it made with compost. Then you look at things like moisture control, protects against over and underwatering. This product does not do that. It's the peat moss. If you're putting organic matter into your garden, it's going to hold water. It's going to be a little bit porous. It helps with the moisture, but it's not this specialty bagged product. It's just the ingredient itself. Now maybe they throw in a dusting of some sort of silicone gel or something. I don't know. I've never found anything that really specified what the moisture control means, but it's just a gimmick. Moisture control, moisture control. There's no moisture control on that bag, but it's the same exact thing or ingredient wise in there. So that's also moisture control. The next thing you look at is use Miracle-Gro soil and plant food for even more harvest. Asterisk. When you look down here, the asterisk means versus unfed. So this product is saying you get more harvest because it has fertilizer in it, and they're testing it against a product that doesn't have fertilizer. So logically speaking, you don't need the fertilizer in here. Any product that has the peat moss, the forestry product, some cocoa coir, is all the same. Buy the cheapest you can get, because you're going to add in your earth from your garden. You're going to add in your own fertilizers. There's nothing special about this formulation that you get more harvest, except that they do add fertilizer to it, which you're going to do anyway. Coming over to this one, they're telling you that this is specialized for flowers, and probably when we flip these bags over and look at the fertilizers, maybe there's a little bit of difference. More blooms for more color, asterisk, come down here, versus unfed plants. And my point is, it's fine if you understand that these have fertilizers, and because it has fertilizers, you get more color, more blooms, you get more of a harvest, but don't think that the ingredients again are making a difference for what you're getting out of blooms or harvest on your plants. And I think it's just kind of misleading. So then you come over to here, and this is just their basic product. It still feeds up to 3 months. All three of them feed up to 3 months. This was $7.97. The other ones were $8.97. You can save yourself $1 by just ignoring the moisture control, the more blooms for color, and the other one that was saying even more harvest. There's nothing special about those two, especially since these have the same fertilizer in there probably. Then you come over to here, and this is organic, which means that the fertilizer is probably an organic fertilizer, which would make most sense. There's no real process to say the peat moss in here, the forestry products in here are organic or not. Same thing in here. So you're not like getting organic peat moss, organic forestry product, organic cocoa coir mixed in here. Could be wrong. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me, but that just wouldn't make sense. It would be so expensive to do that. Where it becomes organic is that they're using organic fertilizers. Now, when you look at this, what do you notice? Great packaging. I love the black and yellow, black and gold. Up to 2 times more bounty guaranteed. Asterisk. Come down here versus unfed plants. So I think you get my point, is when you're seeing these labels and you're quickly looking at stuff, you might say, wow, 2 times more bounty or more harvest, I'm going to buy this. It's only because of the fertilizer, and you're going to be adding in fertilizer anyway. And this is $9.97 for 1.3 cubic feet versus the rest. Okay, let's flip these over and take a look at what's in them. I flipped the bag, so let's go over this pretty quickly, save you some time. And we have ingredients. So we have peat, processed forest product, which is the basically wood, compost, peat moss, coir, fertilizer. The fertilizer is a 0.09 N, 0.05 P, 0.07 K, NP and K, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Tells you what it is right in there. This is a chemical-based or synthesized fertilizer. It's not going to harm you. You can just buy this, go back to your organic ways, you know, once you get it to your house. So that was for the vegetable and herbs. This is for the flowers. Now, real quick, 0.09, 0.05, 0.07, the same exact fertilizer. Same exact ingredients. Coming over to the all-purpose garden soil, it doesn't say it's for vegetables or herbs or for flowers, it's for all of it, and you got it right. 0.09, 0.05, 0.07, same fertilizers, same ingredients. So don't get fooled in thinking that moisture control, bigger harvest, greater blooms is anything special based on the ingredients. That's just related to the fertilizer. You're going to take care of that when you add your fish emulsion. It might be hard to see, but I wanted to show you same exact ingredients, same type of fertilizer in each of these. Same ingredients, same fertilizer, same ingredients, same fertilizer. And when I talk about ingredients, it's really what makes up the structure of the material, and then fertilizer is just an addition to that. Now coming over to the organic fertilizer, coming over to the organic in-ground soil or garden soil, the ingredients are different. If you look at this, where did I see that? So this says it's formulated from compost. Usually the first ingredient means there's more of it, although you don't have percentages here. So you got compost, forest products, which is usually the wood, as I said, sphagnum peat moss, peat, rice hulls, and fertilizers, and some cocoa coir or coir, depending on how you say it. Fertilizer is organic. It comes from feather meal, soybean meal, bone meal, sulfate of potash, and it's 0.13 nitrogen, 0.02 phosphorus, 0.02 potassium. Not a lot of fertilizer in here. So when you're buying these products, don't get fooled by the fancy things that it says on the labels. Now, I have tons of containers all over my yard. I don't really understand why they tell you garden soil is for the in-ground use, not for container use. I've used these products directly in containers. They do well. Now, I do know that potting mix and container mixes have more peat moss in there usually. They drain better, they hold more water. That's your moisture control agent. It's usually peat moss or cocoa coir. And that's why they differentiate it. Now, also when you go to the potting mix and container mix, they jack up the prices usually by 20–30%. So the way to save money is to use garden soil as your base, whatever one you want to use for whatever reason, and get a compressed bag of peat moss, whatever brand you want, and do a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 parts garden soil, 1 part peat moss, mix it well, use it as your container mix. It's as good as any container or potting mix you can buy at a fraction of the price, because peat moss by itself is really, really inexpensive. In fact, you can get a peat moss bale, mix that with 50% of your garden earth, or earth that you're not using in your garden, and you end up basically with this at a cheaper price. Last thing, just because these have these synthesized or chemical type fertilizers doesn't wreck your garden, doesn't make you not organic. Buy what fits your budget, go to your organic ways once you get home, and you're good to go. I just want you to understand that packaging really just tries to squeeze that extra $1 or $2 out of you, and I don't want that to happen. If you're buying 40 bags of garden soil and you're paying $2 extra for the moisture control, the bigger blooms, the bigger harvest, or whatever, $2 times 40 is $80. You can use that money on more important things. Thanks for watching, and please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com.